Welcome to FPL Grind, where I will be helping you in making your dream FPL team. So, last game week was not very well for most of us, and we hope that it changes this time. So, without further ado, let's dive right into game week 6. The top transfers in this week are Alvarez, Botman, Mbuemo, Ward-Prowse, and Salah. Personally, I have Botman and Mbuemo. Botman just came in this week. I can't have Alvarez because I already have 3 City assets, Foden, Haaland and Ederson, and Ward-Prowse is on my list with Salah also being there, but due to Salah's price being £12.5 million, I have to adjust him in the team in 2-3 weeks. So let's see what happens. Now let's take a look at the top transfers out. First is Nicholas Jackson. Of course, he's not doing anything worthy. Then we have Ben Chilwell because Chelsea are having a hard time keeping clean sheets, and when there was a clean sheet, Chilwell was not playing the match. Then we have Isaac because he is going to be in rotation with Wilson. And we have Ole Watkins and Marcus Rashford. So now let's have a look at my team. In goal is Ederson again. He faces Nottingham Forest, so it's a tasty fixture for him. And I believe that there might be a slight possibility of having clean sheets, though wishing for a clean sheet in Premier League is kind of wishful thinking. So a 21% of managers have selected Ederson, and he costs £5.6 million. So I guess there are chances of clean sheet. Let's see what happens. In defense, I have Botman, who comes in place of Ben Chilwell this week. He faces Sheffield United, so an amazing fixture for Newcastle, and we can expect clean sheet points. And he also received the maximum bonus last time against Brentford, so he is one of the most desirable defenders in the Newcastle side. And he only costs £4.6 million. When I bought him at the start of the week, he was £4.5 million. Oh, I didn't buy him at the start of the week. I bought him after the Champions League game because I was watching the match and hoping there were no complications or injuries to any of the Newcastle defense. So I hope Botman will play more than 60 minutes and will get the full points for playing, I guess. So the next one in my team is Udogie. His match is against Arsenal away at Emirates, so it is a hard fixture definitely, but he will play in the team because he has shown his attacking form as well. And also my other options were playing Emerson from West Ham against Liverpool, and I know Liverpool always do score a goal, so I'm going with Udogie only. He still costs £4.7 million, which is a bargain, and 17.3% of people have selected him. Next, we have Dan Burn from Newcastle. He is in my team from the first game week, even after wildcard, and I will still believe in him because Newcastle have a good run of fixtures, and I cannot afford Trippier because I need to fit Mo Salah in my team in the next 2-3 game weeks. So I've kept him, and the Newcastle defense has match against Sheffield United, so I guess it can be a good turning point for me. So if he costs only £4.5 million and only 3.3% of managers have selected him, so he might be a differential as well. Now moving on to midfielders, I have my first midfielder, Bukayo Saka, who has match against Tottenham, and it's a home fixture. It's the North London derby, so the match won't be easy for sure, but 64.9% of people have selected him, and if he does anything, then the whole thing is gonna reflect in the points tally. So he is in a great form, and he scored in the Champions League as well, so I believe that he can do something in this match. Next up, we have Brian Mbuemo from Brentford, who blanked last game week against Newcastle, but this time the match is with Everton and it's a home fixture, and 30% of people have taken him, so I believe he can do something this time. He will not blank, I guess. and his price is constantly increasing. It was 6.5 in the beginning, it's 6.9 million pounds now. So a great business for managers who have had him since first week if they want to sell him, because of some goddamn weird reason, because nobody wants to sell Bryan Mbeumo right now. Next up, we have James Maddison from Spurs, who kind of blanked and had a yellow card, so he scored only 1 point last time against Sheffield United, which was a disappointment for a whole lot of managers. But this time it's against Arsenal and it's a difficult fixture, but I'm still going to play him because I don't have any other choice, and he is still a decent player, so let's see what happens. Also, he's getting more expensive every game week, and he costs about 0.4 million pounds higher than he was in the beginning. So let's see what happens. If you guys want a detailed video of who to buy, sell or avoid for this game week, just head to the top right link on your screens, and that video will definitely clear some of your doubts. Now coming back to the midfield, we have our fourth midfielder Raheem Sterling, who has matched against Aston Villa. So it's a bit of a patience type of thing with Sterling because he is blanking from the last 2 game weeks, I guess. And his ownership also had a recent decrement to 15.4%. But he still was a decent amount of money, which is 7.2 million pounds. And he is involved in every Chelsea attack almost, but they are not scoring any goals, so he is missing a lot of chances. But I will still be going with him for about the next 2 or 3 fixtures because they are very favourable. And the only other attacking choice with Chelsea is Jackson, who is not really doing anything meaningful, so Sterling will still be the spearhead of the arrow, so he should be staying in your teams as well. Let's see. I hope he doesn't blank this game week. Lastly, I have Phil Foden, who has match against Nottingham Forest, and I'm wishing that he plays the whole 90 minutes because he also played in the Champions League against Red Star and he assisted Rodri as well. He's a great player, and I'm really hoping that he plays the whole game so he can manage some points. He costs 7.6 million pounds and is owned by 12.8% of people, so he's a decent part of the team, and I'm hoping he gives a lot of points to me this week. Moving to the forwards, I have Erling Haaland, who was kind of unlucky the last match against West Ham United. Any manager who didn't take Haaland as his captain would have been really relieved after he missed those chances, because he could have scored at least 3 or 2 goals in that match. So he was kind of unlucky, but I hope that he can do something against Nottingham Forest. Now we move forward to the last of my playing 11. It's Yoane Wissa against Everton. I saw his match against Newcastle last time and he was pretty much heavily involved in the attacks, so I was kind of impressed with him. But he also got a yellow card, but he was on the bench, so that was not a problem. This time it's against Everton, and Everton have been not playing very good defensively, so I hope Brentford will be in their attacking mode this game week, and I will have returns from both Mbeumo and Wissa this time. With that, we now move on to handing the armbands to people. So I'm making Haaland my captain and Mbeumo my vice captain. If in case something happens to Pep and he decides to not play Haaland in the game, so Mbeumo is my second choice. Looking at my bench, I have Areola and Emerson who have matches against Liverpool, so it's quite obvious. Then I have Romero who has match against Arsenal, and I don't believe that Arsenal will not score a goal in North London derby. And my last benching player is Evony, who has match against Manchester City. I wanted to play him, but there are a lot of other players in my team who have easy fixtures, so I have only a single transfer this week, and the bank balance stands at £3.2 million, which is a really good balance, but I have to adjust Mo Salah in my team, so it will get destroyed for sure. So with that, thank you guys for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. With that, peace out.